college football for me is leaving a bad taste in my mouth right now. It's getting a lot of my attention, but like, I don't like it. I'm so interested in how this is going to play out and kind of disgusted by it. And like, there's just so many layers to it. Like, guys aren't staying at schools for more than a year. They're getting advice to hop in the portal and they don't really have anywhere to go yet. But then you don't want tampering happening on the other end where it's like, hey, hop in the portal because we're going to pay you, because that's nasty too. That's not ethical. Yeah. You got cousins representing people as agents that aren't actually agents and they're giving bad advice. Yep. And then like you got donors who are giving money for all this to happen. There's no way that's sustainable. Yeah. Like how does this continue?
I didn't hear it at first. I was like, is my mic muted?
We got to be at like 100 episodes with that song. You should know by now what Bunny is.
Let's change it to Bad Bunny since he's
I'm trying to get
soon.
Something that isn't going to get copyrighted. we got to be able to put Bad Bunny type song in the
right. That's what I'm saying. Latino trap.
You know what? We're close to when I like to change the season to a new season. I think we should have like a Latin intro. I think it'd be fun.
Latino trap.
You know, we're like 3 for 3 starting podcasts talking about Hispanic culture in general.
All inclusive pod over here.
Hey, my little DNA thing said Hispanic was like the majority.
Careful now. Careful now.
Hispanic with the majority.
It was the majority.
Welcome to Who F'n Kneauxs Podcast.
Asshole.
Patty V. Dave Rainey. Aaron Poole. We might have to carry papers.
Maybe.
I don't know. Just as soon as you said you were, mainly Hispanic.
Yeah. We keep hyping up Hispanic culture. We might get taken off of YouTube or something.
I'm saying we got to calm down. They're going to be looking for us. You got your passport? You got papers, buddy?
I don't have a passport.
Exactly. Driver's license don't count as a...
Do you have your picture?
I don't know. Count me in.
The sad part is they could probably start asking me the questions that you need to get your green. I'd fail it. We should do that one day. We should take the test.
Yeah.
And see if we could pass it, because I don't think I could.
What is it? The test consist of?
It's like American history stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of random stuff.
Yeah. It'd be like a question or a test you could probably pass straight out of a high school.
Maybe.
Yeah. Class, but nowadays there's no chance,
more,
dude.
Buddy.
No chance. And if we're being real, it might be the history they want you to think of. You know what I mean? They may have twisted it.
What are they teaching in the
books?
What are they teaching? Do they still? They gotta have books in high school.
I don't think they allow books.
I thought we were burning books. I thought that's what they were doing.
We're gonna get canceled by someone here.
That's all right. You know what? If we get canceled because of the things we say, I feel like it's the crowd that I don't really want to be associated with anyway. So
that's okay.
I can't get this mic right.
Figures.
That's what she said.
No.
Maybe.
Have I got topics?
It's Girl Scout cookie season.
Is it?
It is. It is actually Girl Scout cookie season.
I'm not a Girl Scout cookie guy. I like the
vanilla.
No, yeah, the shortbread ones. That's it.
Most basic ass.
Yep, that's me.
Girl Scout cookie.
I didn't read what the flavor was, but I saw they have a new flavor.
Yeah.
What is it?
I think it's some kind of peanut butter and jelly.
And jelly?
And the jelly. I'm a Samoa and the peanut butter. They wear peanut butter patties, right? Or the tagalongs.
I don't know what they're called anymore.
They name changed them. I think we talked about that before. They done switched the names up.
Yeah, I'm a Thin Mints guy. I was always a Thin Mints guy. I know. I'm a weird one. I like the mint chocolate.
You're a weird one.
All right, I could just like vanilla. when we first started this podcast and we introduced ourselves, I was like, I'm Patty V, blah blah blah. I gave a little spiel about myself, and I was like, and he was like, just Dave. I'm just Dave. And as we've gone on,
I don't think the vanilla thing makes me weird. I think it just makes me plain.
That's what I'm getting at. It's not weird. It's just Dave.
Listen, I never claimed to be interesting.
It's a Rocky Road ice cream inspired cookie. Explore Moors.
Okay.
I think they could work on the name a little bit. Explore Moors.
Sure.
Catchy. You'll remember it forever.
Explore more horrors in the back of the door at a 4-door door. Eminem type.
Yeah, that's where your brain went?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Does she look like a
fancy woman?
Sure. A hua.
A woman of the night.
Tour.
Yeah.
There's a baby screaming.
This guy.
Always screaming.
Just living it up. They had a UPS driver when I came here just now. How far behind is he that it's
10 o'clock at night?
He's delivering packages.
I've gotten him at like 8 o'clock, but that's about as late as it gets for me.
Yeah. I got nothing.
That's not interesting. We should definitely talk about something else.
That's why I was like, I don't know. I'm not even
the only thing I got written down is Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
That thing.
I did have that press conference etiquette.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I had.
Yeah. We can talk about that. That's fine.
I feel like that's an interesting conversation.
It burned bright for a minute. It kind of tapered off, but we could still take.
Yeah. See, the way this pod works is we tend to record for 4 days after things are interesting. So it's kind of tough. We got to bring it back up.
I know.
But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, there was the press conference with Liam Cohen right after they lost the game, and this nice, wonderful old lady. I'm assuming she's old. No young lady is being this nice. She, just tried to uplift him a little bit. And what do we call the people that are criticizing it?
Journalists.
Okay.
Sports journalists.
Okay. Like the old school sports journalist. Or was it all sports journalists?
I would say that every sports journalist had an opinion on it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So every sports journalist had an opinion. I would say the old school sports journalist had a negative response to it.
Sure. Saying
that she shouldn't even be in the room, basically, with that kind of question, or shouldn't ask that type of question, or say it wasn't even a question, shouldn't say that thing. So just thoughts on that. Yeah. I think I saw you somewhat respond to it.
Yeah, I did. I actually asked a few questions to Stan. What's his name? Stan Barrett. Yeah, we had a little exchange on Twitter about it. I had an opinion on it, but I think before I give that opinion, just to give a little more context, a lot of the traditional journalists hold certain things very like near and dear to their heart. Like there's a certain way you do things, and it's like that in, I guess, every industry, right? Like when you're a senior in that industry, things are a way they're supposed to be, and it's because that's what you learned, and it's just supposed to continue that way. And I disagree with that. People thought that her comments, it wasn't the time or place. She was very, very uplifting to a coach who had just lost a football game. And like, basically their argument is like, hey, you see him throughout the week. Like you have other opportunities to tell him those kinds of things. I would beg to differ. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I've been in those rooms. You've been in those rooms. And you know sometimes how hard and difficult it can be to even formulate a question, because there's a lot of boring, mundane questions, and I get it. Like you're supposed to ask those kind of questions post game. There's a decorum, right? But like, who did it hurt? Is my first question. Like, did it waste time? Yeah, it did. Could there have been somebody else asking something about the game? Absolutely. But like, it didn't hurt anything.
I agree. It doesn't hurt anything, and we've kind of talked about this before when we were going into our first press, like post game presser, that we had the chance to ask questions. We were like, I don't want to, like, who cares? I've always been of the opinion, like, what are we really going to learn from this?
Yeah.
Right. Like you can ask all the questions. Now, if something like super interesting happens during the game, right? Like, I don't know, if there's something controversial or whatever, and you want to ask about that, I get it. But like, I don't care what happened on third down in the third quarter. Right. Like I don't care about one specific play from this 60-minute game. The game's over. Nothing's going to change what just happened. Right. So I don't care about that. And that's a me thing. I know there's people that want all of that, but like what made me feel like that she didn't do anything wrong was you could see it in his face. Like he just, it actually changed his facial expression, and he just looked like uplifted. And I was like, cool. Like, I don't really care about Liam Cohen or the Jags or anything, but like, as a human, that was a cool moment. You need to go uplift your child.
They act like it's any worse than a normal press conference for when the Steelers lost in the playoffs. They're asking Rodgers, how does he feel about Tomlin and going into the next year and all this stuff? And then he gives us a huge, elaborate answer. And then the next reporter's like, how do you really feel about Tomlin? He's like, I just gave a long answer, winded answer about Tomlin. So so I'm not explaining again. And then he just walks off. So it's like, that's not wasting time. Like this lady asking him a heartfelt thing and trying to uplift him is wasting time. But the reporter's asking the same question over and over and over. and rewording it isn't.
I think that's the thing, is that like reporters look at those journalists. I want to be very specific here because these people have gone to school for this, and that's why they hold this so like, they're so real about it and upset about it. They think that area, that press conference, is specifically for questions to write stories, which I'd argue you could write a story about this. But they think that it is for those types of things. So they come in with predetermined things where they want to push the conversation. They want to drive the conversation to get to this certain topic, to be able to write about this certain thing. That's why they get these stupid questions about, hey, you guys are, 30% on third down. Like, how do you improve there? What answer do you think you're going to get?
Yeah, see, I'd argue you get, how many times during the week do we see coaches get media availability? That's the time to ask those questions.
Yeah.
Like, the same arguments you're making why she shouldn't have done this here, I could make the same argument where you should just ask your question.
Yeah.
Some other time.
And others, and I'm going to sound, I don't know, kind of hypocritical saying this. Others have said it makes them look like, oh, they're just giving credentials to anybody. And to be fair, like, I get credentials and I am anybody. So and I think the opposite of the way those people think. But my argument with all of this would be, and I said this on Twitter, media is changing.
Yep.
And like, you see so many former athletes now in the room. They're not journalists. Nope. You see random influencers in the room asking questions. They're not journalists. You don't have to be so stubborn in your old ways to say, hey, this is how it's supposed to be. I went to school for this. I dropped a lot of stupid money on this, and now I need it to stay this way. It's not staying that way. And you got to move past that. You got to evolve. You got to adapt, or you're going to die.
Yeah. I mean, and like, that's something we've kind of, when we first started like just shooting our shot at Tulane players to get on the pod and talk to them. Like, what made it work was we were like, we're not going to ask. Well, we'll throw in a couple of these questions that we feel like we need to, but it was always like, we want to just ask like, you want to get to know the person and be more personable with them. And that's where like new media is going. Like, Pat McAfee's the biggest thing on ESPN. Yeah. And he's nothing. Even if he does ask a question like that, it's not going to be in the straightforward, normal way. He goes on some crazy rant and brings up the question or whatever.
Right.
Like, that's what it's becoming now, and that's what people want. And I don't want to speak for all players, but like, I'd argue that most of the players and coaches would prefer this new style.
Yeah. And
like you mentioned, Rodgers, the same thing happened with LaFleur. Like, after their game, they were like, you got 1 year left on your contract. Do you think you'll be back? And he's like, and he was nice about it. He's like, he mentioned the guy by name. He's like, I'm not going to do that right now. He's like, that's not time or place, whatever. And then 2 more times, the guy asked the same question a different way. And he, like, you could tell, he's like, the last time LaFleur was just like, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, whatever. And that was it. Like, that killed the whole vibe of the press conference.
Yeah.
Well, you end up getting people pissed off. Like, did y'all see the Joe Mazzulla press conference for the Celtics head coach, where they're asking him after the game? They were asking him how it ended, and they had an illegal screen that didn't get called in his opinion. So they're just asking him questions, and he's like, illegal screen. And they're like, well, what do you feel about, this and how you guys, he's like, illegal screen. And they're like, well, is that all you're going to say? And he goes, illegal screen. And you just get people like, you're just going to ask dumb questions, and then you're just going to get interviews like that where people are just like, look, you're going to ask the dumb questions. Yeah. I'm just going to give you a dumb response.
That's it. It feels like they go in with not all of them, but it does feel like sometimes they're going in with the intention to just try to piss them off, to maybe get them to eventually bite.
They have a story to write. Yeah. They do. They have a story to write, or they have a story to tell in one way or another, and they go in with questions to do that, which that's your job. I get it.
I think a good journalist should be able to write the story without getting that much information.
Yeah.
I don't think you need that many quotes from a coach to write a column. Like, a column's not that long.
Right. And most coaches, to be fair, they come in and they give you a whole freaking like they run down the game before you even ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. I used to say this all the time, especially with Summerall. Summerall would come in the room and he would tell you everything you need to know about the game before you even ask questions. I would have questions in my mind that I wanted to ask, and he would go through each single one of them to get ahead of it, because he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
All these guys are media trained. They know what's going to come up. They know inside and out how to answer these questions. You're not going to get some crazy answer.
And it's only because they lost, right? Like, if they had won, nobody would care about what was asked, what was said, or anything. Like, how many times after a win do we see players bring kids in They might give a kid a chance to ask a question.
Yeah.
Or like when Pratt broke the record, we wanted to ask him like, how are you going to celebrate? Like, and nobody would have said anything about that. It's like, who cares? Like, just because it was in a negative moment and you're trying to get the soundbite, it's like, get over it.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I like hearing their opinion. I was just curious. That's why I had the exchange with Stan. I kind of asked him like, do you not think like this is evolving? Blah blah blah. I forget what his answer even was, but he kind of shot it down.
He's been pretty active lately.
Yes,
it's very interesting.
Yeah,
he's been getting into it a lot.
He's just been giving his opinion a lot.
Yeah, which is fine. Like,
yeah.
Nothing he said he hasn't been like aggressive towards anybody or anything like that. When I don't want to say getting into it, like he's fighting with people.
He's just been very strong about his opinion. Like he's been telling people flat out.
What was the other thing recently? I'm blanking on it.
I am too. I don't.
Anyway,
waste of time. Dead air.
Pels might get John Morant. Do we see this? Do we care?
Shit.
I'm just wondering why.
Jeremiah Fears liked the post. So.
I mean, like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm like, I just whatever, man.
Would have thought who won the trade. We get them both.
Like at this point, I'm like, yeah, it's like the season's such a mess. I'm like, like this is where we're gonna go. I mean, I guess it can't get any worse.
He was trying to fight his own teammate yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, he's just trying. Yeah, but you know, the second if he gets somewhere he wants to go, it's gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes he's a moron, and I don't know that him coming here is the best idea.
He's got ties in New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like, don't get me wrong. If we get to have him and Zion, there will be some times where it's just exciting to watch.
Sure, if they're ever on the court together.
Exactly. That's why I said sometimes. Like Zion's doing the thing the other night where I'm like, I can't get rid of it. I can't give up on this guy.
That was Zion. That's the guy we wanted.
Yeah.
The problem is you see him once a year.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know. We got to have some interesting stuff to talk
Hillary
about.
Duff has a new song.
He didn't know about it. I mentioned it to him last night.
Oh.
Just the lyrics.
Yeah. The lyrics are fun.
Yeah.
The lyrics are fun. I was a little taken aback by the lyrics.
Yeah. You don't have a song for a while and you just come out with that. Like, that's what we're coming out the gate with. That's the trend these days, I guess. Sabrina's a trendsetter. Yeah.
She comes out songs called Roommates for anybody who hasn't heard it. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine if it's about relationships and, feeling like you're roommates now. But she gets pretty vulgar in some of her lyrics about like, the beginning of the relationship, like giving head in the bar. And I'm like, Jesus, Hillary.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. It caught me off guard. It really did.
What happened to hey now, this is what dreams.
She evolved.
Yeah, she's essentially saying she wants to go back to that. She wants to feel the chase again. She wants, all these things. And I'm like, damn, this song's like, it's got layers. It's a little vulgar. And it does have that little like new pop Taylor Swift feel. Yeah. It's a little pop. It's cool.
I thought it was funny that was the song right after the conversation we had just had on the pod. I was like, it's a different way to put it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, little did everybody know I work with Hillary and I was laying the groundwork.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's why she's like Elite Cracker Hall of Fame already without being.
She already was. We already talked about this.
Yeah.
She made the list.
Yeah. That's what you said. I think when you heard, I guess, the background noise of it, you were like, it sounds Taylor Swifty.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, I was like, maybe, but it's Sabrina lyrics with the Swifty vibe.
Which is kind of what Taylor Swift is doing now too. So it's like,
yeah. Well, that makes sense because they hang out and they're buddies.
Yeah.
But she couldn't beat those allegations either. People were mad that she was talking like that in her songs. They're like, she needs to be nice girl, Taylor Swift. She can't. I'm
surprised Hillary Duff didn't catch any of that. It's like, it seems to happen with the ones where like Taylor wasn't a Disney person, obviously, but like she started as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people still kind of view her that way.
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
So it's like when she finally, but she's like slowly gotten to I remember the first time she like cursed on a song. I was like, whoa, what's happening here? But now it's like she's just fully like a full grown adult now, and people just don't want to accept it.
Crazy,
right? Like, oh, she's engaged and she's about to get married. Like, yeah, she's in she's
like in her 30s.
Yeah, like that's what's happening.
So you wait too long, she's gonna be a grandma,
right? It's just like that. But like, I don't know. Sabrina doesn't get any of that though, even though she was
I think she did a little bit.
Think so?
Yeah, people kind of dog on her just because she's a little over sexualized.
Yeah. She does. I love that she doesn't give a shit though.
Yeah, I think that's why it doesn't go anywhere. She's like, whatever, I don't care. Miley got it. I think every former Disney star got it.
Demi Lovato.
She went off the rails too, but she's back, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. We're talking about a lot of elites right now. A lot of elite crackers. We had a conversation last night, and we didn't give out an elite cracker of 2025. And I think we both kind of have a nominee, and I want to know if you agree.
Okay,
Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like it's not a debate.
It's a down year.
It was I mean,
I could see how he's
like, we could just give it to Sprita again, realistically, but he every movie he put out hit. He had a verse in a rap verse that was pretty
solid. Now
it was solid. Not just from us,
the Jenners now,
just like on the Twitterverse.
He's not dating one of the Jenners. He's dating the Miss. Not that nothing wrong with Kendall. I actually Kendall's my fave.
He was like the face of Knicks basketball for a minute there.
Yeah,
like I think he's the guy. To be honest.
I mean, I can't argue against it, but I would argue that it was probably a down year.
Although me, you, and Russ have had the conversation about the other one that could be in the conversation.
The other one.
The other guy that could be in the conversation, and it's Cooper DeJean.
I mean, maybe.
John Cena.
John Cena.
I mean, he's dating a Bella.
Yeah.
He got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. He's a white cornerback.
Yeah, that alone.
That's a pretty big deal.
And he's a good one because like Riley Moss is out there, but he sucks.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like if you just make it as a starting white cornerback, I mean, that's
Scatterbo had
good enough,
run.
right? Yeah, Scatterbo might have been in the running had he not gotten hurt.
Yeah, Jackson Dart's probably on the list.
Tyler Shuck,
he's there.
He's a local elite cracker.
Exists.
He's like in the new.
He's funny too. I've been seeing little interviews with him they were talking about how he can throw the ball, and then he was like, you guys like seeing my balls or something like that.
Yeah, it's nice to have a quarterback.
Look at that. He's got a little humor in him.
Yeah, it's nice to have a quarterback that's not just like a wet sponge. It's great.
Drew Brees was kind of a wet
sponge. Yeah. We had a big stretch of him until we had Jameis, and it was beautiful, wonderful. Yeah. And then you go from Jameis to Derek Carr, and it's like, this is the worst. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Derek Carr and his brother have a podcast, and I'll be honest, I can't imagine two people having a podcast together that is less interesting. Haven't heard one thing from it except for the little clip that went viral like last week. Did you see that?
No.
They said the Raiders might be. David mentioned that to Derek that the Raiders might be in the quarterback market, and Derek started laughing, and he's like, "That'd be great." And David's like, "Would it? Would it be great? You're gonna give the Raiders a Christmas gift?" I'm like, "Yeah, please." Because guess who's got your rights, buddy?
Trade him.
When do y'all have him to the Knicks?
Who cares?
I don't know.
Trade him for a fourth round.
I don't care. They can take him they can just have him. He did us a favor by just leaving, getting out of my life. It's great. I don't ever need but honestly, can you think of two people that could be less interested in a podcast? What do they talk about? Obviously football, but like they can't be interesting.
Yeah.
David Carr be like, this is how you take a sack professionally.
This is how you struggle in the red zone.
professionally. What's it called? Any guesses?
Comment on them.
Any guesses?
I don't know. I don't care.
Carve rooms.
I don't care. Like genuinely.
I need to know. I need to know what it's called. I'm sorry. I'll just do something else and I'll let you know when I find it.
Did y'all see the Drewski skit making fun of the megachurches?
Yeah. I've noticed though that a lot of the Drewski skits, like he just takes them from other people, which takes away from it for me now. That was funny. It was hilarious. But then I saw other skits that he was just mocking, and I was like, oh, he didn't come up with this? I thought he was funny and came up with this on his own. He's just acting out somebody else's creative property.
I think he needs his own skit comedy show.
You think so?
Yeah. Like one of these.
He had a little like fake bachelor show or whatever.
Was that not just like a YouTube thing?
If it was still some kind of show that he had out there.
Like I feel like his whole could have been thing,
Records,
like his could have been record auditions, probably could be a TV show, but I feel like he'd have to reel it in. and then it would take away from it. Like if he can't just do what he's doing on YouTube and being wild like that, like it's not gonna work. But the skit was phenomenal.
One of the pastors came out too that supposedly he was making fun of and called him like a fat bitch or something like that. And
Yeah, so
he has like a gold mic and a Louis Vuitton jacket, and I'm just like, you're just proving his point that it aggravated you, and it's
any pastor that's standing on stage cursing.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the skit. Like if we be real about it, it wasn't like there's definitely some like religious people that just took offense to it altogether that I've seen, but the ones that really took offense are the priests, like you're talking about, and that's the point of the skit. It's like these people that I'm making fun of don't actually care about you. Like that's what the whole skit is, and that's why I think it's funny when you see it's basically just people telling on themselves now.
Yeah,
and it's great.
He called out the hypocrisy of a lot of the churches. And they're showing their hypocrisy. Yeah,
it was specifically the megachurches.
If you're standing on stage cursing, like I would argue, and this is me judging, and I'm not supposed to do that, but I would argue you're not the best Christian. Yeah. Like as a leader of a church, you're held to a higher standard.
Yeah,
and you're doing that.
But if you wear Louis Vuittons, I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of
right. That was a good one.
I was like, that was a good one.
We need also like $4 million. And we are not letting anybody leave.
But what's crazy is that, like, obviously it's based on factual stuff, and
that's happened.
The church, the pastor, he would not let them leave until they reached a certain, it's
so funny, man. Homegrown, name of the podcast. The name is not even interesting.
Homegrown what?
Exactly. Great.
I think they're from California, aren't they?
Yeah, what is that? I think if the podcast is just about football,
I don't know.
Like that's terrible. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, check it.
What a terrible family. Sorry.
Made a lot of money.
They did.
Made a lot of money.
That they did.
Got Sid and I don't know. Sid. Isn't David Carr the most sacked quarterback in the history of the NFL?
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know about it anymore, but at one point he definitely was. Like that's what he's known for, is just taking sacks. And David Carr carried me to a couple fantasy championships when it was him, Andre Johnson, and Arian Foster. For like 2 years straight, I just stacked the three of them, and it was off and running. You know that stretch where it was like the conversation where Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson were like 1A, 1B.
David Carr was the quarterback then? I thought it was like Matt Schaub.
It was Schaub. You're right. Yeah.
Don't give David Carr.
You're right. I was thinking Texans.
That motherfucker was in New York at that time.
Yeah.
You're
right. Just
Eli.
Scratch that from the record. But shout out Matt Schaub. What a guy.
Matt Schaub did have a little run.
He did. Yeah. Just a few years with the Texans.
Arian Foster.
A few years with the Texans.
He was one of those ones that was like a backup quarterback and got away and then ended up starting and lit it up. There was an argument for a minute that people wanted him in Atlanta because he was a backup to.
I was going to say, didn't he go to Atlanta? He was from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That run, because we were talking the other day. You were talking about how Vick's prime or whatever, and I went and looked up his stats, and I was like, damn, I forgot like how mediocre the Falcons were. They were not good.
No, it was never. It was one of those things where it was like never about stats with Vick.
No, yeah, because his stats weren't good. If you go look at them,
I mean, maybe it was just the age I was. When Vick was a thing, I wasn't old enough to care at all about like how many touchdowns he's throwing. But my family, I think, legitimately hated me for a while because Michael Vick is the reason I fell in love with football. Because you're watching and you're like, this dude is insane. It's the same reason I'm a Miami fan. Like when I was growing up, Vick was the shit, and Miami was Miami. And you're watching these things and you're like, these dudes are amazing.
Yeah,
like the whole Michael Vick experience commercial. I had the shoes. I had a Vick jersey, and I had the shoes and the jersey. And after Katrina, we found it in the house. And since the day I got that jersey, my uncle would tell me he was going to burn it. So after we found it in the house after Katrina, he took it on the front yard, the jersey and the shoes, and set it on fire. And he was like, "I told you I was going to burn this," and he just lit it on fire. He was like, "It's ruined anyway." Flames.
Good for him.
So I was never a Falcons fan, but I loved Michael Vick. So when he came back with the Eagles, I was like, yeah, this is my time to shine.
That was the best time. It was the best season he ever had.
Dude, that throw to Deshaun Jackson, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the first play of the game. Was that his first play as an Eagle? I think it might have been.
And it was like putting the world on notice.
Yeah.
He was like, hey guys, I'm about to have a year. I don't know if you guys know or not.
I just threw this ball 75 yards
but like
on a
that,
dime.
That highlight reel I shared, I was watching it and I was like, that's why I said all due respect to Lamar Jackson. Like all around better player, probably Lamar Jackson. Like he can throw. I mean, the Eagles Vick could throw the ball. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Lamar has the arm that Michael Vick had. Michael Vick had a cannon.
I think it's an interesting comparison because without Vick, there is no Lamar.
Yeah.
There is not. Like, it does not happen. I want to be very clear about that. Like, Vick cleared the way for so many quarterbacks in the future. I think Vick also did some damage, too, to the quarterbacks because I think now, and I was talking about this the other day, like just, instant gratification in our culture and how, like, the NIL and college football, like, all this stuff kind of goes together. But like now you have coaches that are just looking for the next mobile quarterback that can run and is super athletic and they're not coaching them anymore.
Yeah.
So I think like he did some damage too. But no, I think comparing the two,
they're not as similar.
They're not
as like when Lamar was getting close to breaking whatever record that was. I guess it was the yardage record.
The Russian record. Right?
Yeah. Like, naturally any running quarterback, like legitimate running quarterback like Lamar is going to get compared to Michael Vick. And it's like, yeah, okay. Like they're both fast. And that's like where it ends. Because if you watch them, like I said, Vick had some power. And I didn't even I didn't even think about that. Like,
he had balance. He was built like a running back.
Dude, that like he had that. I remember it like clear as day. It was like against the Vikings. And he does like the little thing where he goes down to the ground and hits like a spin move on the ground. And it's like the nastiest move I've ever seen. But you could see it like in that highlight reel. There was so many plays. There was like, catch the ball, I'm gone. There was no Lamar. I'm looking for to throw the ball. And like, I don't remember who he was. Was it? It had to be like, like Algie Crumpler or something at the time, maybe that he was throwing to.
I don't even remember.
Nobody
receivers.
Nobody good.
Was Roddy White on that team?
I think he might have been like, they might have overlapped at the end because Vick was the quarterback for the first game back in the Dome.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say Roddy White was around that time too.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, I was watching that and I was like, man, I'm not trying to hate on Lamar or anything. Like he's great in his own right, but this dude Michael Vick was different. Like, is he like the AI of football? Would you say that?
Probably.
Like you could argue like all around, like not that AI did the dog fighting thing, but kind of have a similar background of like coming from like tough stuff.
It came from the same area.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's like just I don't really know how long. I mean, Vick's career was like incredibly short compared to.
Yeah. I mean, he was 5 or 6 years and then went to jail.
He's stone cold in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. Except Stone Cold only beat women. He didn't kill dogs.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. I called out bad things about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
Yeah. Man, I love Michael Vick. Like I feel like I shouldn't because of how much I love dogs. And I can't explain it. It's just
not because he's on the Falcons, but because I love dogs.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I guess I could just look past it. I guess he did his time. I feel like they say he does a lot of things these days.
Yeah.
Like I forgive him, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That was a long time ago, right? And like people, like you said, he did his time. It's just like, I don't know. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's fair.
I don't know.
It's fair.
I don't hate him. I don't know him. And he was a great player and I'll give him that.
It's just one of the, I think this is one of those things where you're just a little bit older than me. Like you were probably a football fan for 6 years or so before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is legitimately the guy that made me love football. So it's hard to, like Jeff Hardy. Like Jeff Hardy's been in all kinds of shit. Like, I mean, it's mostly like self-harm stuff. He's never like hurt anybody else as far as we know or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like every time people start shitting on Jeff Hardy, I'm like, this is my guy and I will ride with him until the end of time.
I like that topic though, the guy that made you love football or any sport really. But what about you? Who made you love football? Is there a guy?
I mean, for me, it was Ben. I mean, but it's in the same thing. Like obviously Ben had all the shit that came out against him, but it was like, fuck, it's my guy. Like, he led us to the Super Bowl. Like, he's out there slinging it. And so he can have all this shit out there. But, like, that's my franchise quarterback. You know, it's
That's
just
my quarterback.
That's my quarterback, man.
You love Ben on the field. We get it. Like, I understand it.
Also, probably not a great guy.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of things like that. Like, I grew up loving golf because of Tiger Woods. And now he's had all this other stuff come out about him. But it's like, you can say what you want about the guy. I'm going to ride with him.
Yeah.
Till he's out of golf, you know. It's just anytime he enters a major, I'm putting $10 on him. Like, I believe there's a chance he can go out there and get it.
I think it's interesting that it is somebody from your team that made you feel that way. Like,
Not me.
Not you. That's what I wanted to see.
No, because as a kid, I first started liking football. I was playing football. I was playing Pop Warner when I was like 5 and 6 years old, and I played on the Chiefs. So like I just naturally followed the Chiefs because we would go to parties with the coaches. Like the team would get together when we weren't playing, and we would watch Chiefs Broncos was one of the first games I ever watched, and it was snowing. It was at Arrowhead, and I vividly remember this. I don't know why. And Joe Montana was the quarterback, and Joe Montana was just the guy that I followed from the very beginning. I have a Chiefs Joe Montana jersey, super rare jersey because nobody ever thinks of the Chiefs when they think of Joe Montana.
Yeah.
And then from there, that was short-lived because he was only there for a couple of years. Rich Gannon, shortly after that, I really liked Rich Gannon. He was like my guy. And he had a short span with the Chiefs, and he was never really the starter. And then he left, and he went to the Raiders, and he was like really good. So I just followed Rich Gannon for a while. And then I eventually made my way to the Saints. I don't know who brought me over, but.
Well, that's the difference, I think, here is our team was terrible. Like, our home team was terrible. So we had to find something good to watch.
Dude.
Right? And they were worse for you than they were for me as a kid.
My first, I don't know why. My first Saints game was a preseason game against the Chiefs. And Ricky Jackson was trying to make a comeback. But that doesn't register for me as like my first game as a Saints fan because I was a Chiefs fan at that game.
Mm-hmm.
I had an uncle. He was special needs and he had passed away. And they gave me, he had a radio, boombox radio. And on the radio, it had all kinds of Saints stickers because he was a big Saints fan. And it had a Saints fan and a Bud Man sticker on it. I'll never forget it. I don't know why. It was a Bud Light sticker. And that season, I was like, yeah, I'm from New Orleans. Like, I should be a Saints fan. And I was young. I don't remember how old I was. And we went like 2-14 or something terrible that year. And we had a chance to win the game. We're playing the Cleveland Browns. And Alex Molden, I'll never forget this. The Cleveland Browns hadn't won a game all year. And this is like the last game of the season. They throw a Hail Mary at the end of the game. Alex Molden goes up to intercept the ball instead of knocking it down. I learned at a very young age, you knock the damn ball down. We lost the game on a Hail Mary. Yeah. My first Saints game that I'm watching, and I decide I'm going to be a Saints fan. We lose on a Hail Mary to the worst team in the league. And I'm like,
but it's fitting.
This is brutal.
Like for 90% of, well, not 90%, because we had almost a 20-year run of solid football.
Yeah.
But like at least 50% of your Saints fandom is just misery.
It was horrible.
Like,
well, it was kind of fun though. I'll give you this. It was fun because I was there. I remember when Jim Moore retired, and it was like a big thing. Or not retired, he quit. I think he quit or he got fired. I can't remember. But they had like a press conference where he's like outside of the Saints facility, and he's basically talking about leaving the team. And they show his little car driving away, and I'm like, dang, this feels like a big deal. And I'm a kid. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then from there, you have Ditka get hired, and he does the whole Ricky Williams thing, and you got all the Billy Joes at quarterback, and like, I don't care what anybody says. That was fun.
Yeah,
that team sucked.
Well, so
that was fun.
I was gonna add, like, you kind of prefer that to like what we went through with like the failures with Peyton, where it was because your team, like, you had expectations and your team was like great, and it's just heartbreak after heartbreak. Whereas like similar to the last like 2 or 3 years now, it's like I'm going in with the lowest of expectations and I can't be hurt.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's just vibes along the way.
Yeah.
Like this team wasn't good, but it was fun. We had fun.
The vibes are high as hell right now.
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm saying.
We finished terrible. We finished pretty well.
Yeah,
actually,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, but even with like Spencer at the beginning, it was kind of sucky, but it was like it's different. It doesn't feel as bad as like last year. You know what I mean? Like there was some bright spots here and there. But like you're saying, when you just grow it up and they're just like miserable, it's like, hey, we find the funny in the misery.
It was so much fun, dude. And then we got what was his name? Jim Haslett became the coach.
Yep.
and we got Aaron Brooks who takes over as the quarterback. Jeff Blake was kind of cool for a couple weeks. They started pretty hot. And then Aaron Brooks comes in and he's Mike Vick's cousin.
Yeah.
He's Mike Vick's cousin. I'm like, what?
So that's what I'm trying to, you're sitting here talking like your first game and all that. And I'm trying to remember like my earliest memories as a Saints fan. And I think Jeff Blake is probably like my earliest memory. I can't really remember. I'm sure I know there was a coach before Hazlitt in my life, probably a couple of them, but like the first one I remember is Hazlitt. Like I think the Hazlitt era is
he came in at a good time, technically. I mean,
yeah. So like, I guess he had some success, but it wasn't like,
I would argue, like, I mean, you have the early 90s where they were pretty good with Mora, and then they fell off, and then the Dick era was terrible. And then you had Hazlitt, and Hazlitt the Dick era was so bad that when Hazlitt came in, they had a couple seasons where they started like 6-2, 6-3, and then they made the playoffs, and then they won their first playoff game. So they were trending upward. And then you had a couple up and down years where it was like Brooks was hurt and he shouldn't have been playing. Yeah. Jake Delhomme should have been the guy, but they didn't want to start him. And then eventually everything falls off the rails.
You're talking like, for me, like probably 2000 is probably like when I like understood, well, maybe not like understood the in and outs of football, but like understood what I was watching, loved football and loved like the game of football. And that's probably where it starts for me right there. And then like I'm saying that, and then like 01 Miami is the team, and really like 2000 Miami, 2000 to 2002 Miami.
That's when they had their streak, right? When they won like 50 something games in a row.
Yeah, yeah. And then 01 is the team, the Miami team, and then 02 is the Ohio State situation in the Fiesta Bowl where they should have went back to back and whatever.
Lost it.
It's all right, man. We're righting the wrongs.
Ken Dorsey,
stupid ass having games on Monday night. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Keep it on the weekend.
I'm so glad I worked days that day. I thought it was going to be, because you know how they do like some championship games, it'll be like, oh, it's going to be at 4 p.m. Like the Super Bowl starts at 5 o'clock, right? And it's like, okay, it's a Sunday, whatever. And I was praying. I was like, please don't let this game start at 5 o'clock. And I missed half of it just trying to get home. I was about to take off. Like I was going to give up my holiday pay at work and everything. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm not missing this for anything. Now it's 6:30. I'm going to have to like sprint home. I ain't going to have time to like make a drink for the game. But hey, my bookmarks are at all-time high. I want you to know that. And you're on the list, buddy.
I mean, you just got to
sit down.
I just wanted to let you know real quick.
I'm not saying anything. I haven't said anything. I'm just seeing the post that if we're being honest, it's the Indiana fans that are not being humble right now. Okay. They got all this shit. They just think they can run through everybody. Okay. You know,
to be fair, I feel like they've earned the right to kind of talk shit.
I guess.
Undefeated, they're waxing the teams in the playoffs. It's like,
yeah, that's fair. Like they are. I don't think they've really beaten anybody in the playoffs. Like Bama, we spent a month and a half saying they were terrible, and then they were the team everybody was like, all right, if we're going to put Notre Dame in, that team should be out. And all due respect, Bama beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma didn't look great for the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And then I think everybody questioned Oregon every year because they were the same thing. They don't play anybody. But to be fair, like you're saying, they handled them. Like it wasn't close games. They beat the brakes off of them. So like credit to them.
Yeah. Well, when you know the team's first 10 plays, I mean.
But that's what we talked about too last week.
I didn't say it. Streets are saying it.
But it's almost equal argument on the other side with Miami. Like A&M was the whole towards the end of the year. Like, yeah, they played bottom tier SEC conference guys and they're, barely scraping by towards the end of the week with South Carolina, and then Ohio State, who have they really played? They haven't really played anybody. So there wasn't really, like this year, I think we talked about it too, there wasn't really a team that stood out, so to speak. Like even Indiana, they've got hot and they're blowing out teams, but they almost lost to like a weird Penn State team this year, and they had to have a crazy ass catch in the end zone to scrape away with the win. Like nobody really looked super dominant. They just look really hot right now. And so does Miami, But
I think a lot of teams look dominant at different times because I thought
Miami was like number 2 in the nation for a minute.
Yeah, I thought Miami was the best team in the nation through the first like 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden they like fell off, and I was like, well, I thought they were good. What happened? And then there's other teams, and
like you could have this is a different conversation, but this is how I like this is fun. This is fun college football when it's not just going to be Georgia, Bama every year. Like this is fun. and then you have no idea next year.
Yeah.
Like you'll probably have some of the same teams, right? But like you have no idea who's going to come out of nowhere and grab the 10 seed. Because if Miami does it, that's 2 years in a row that one of the last seeds gets in and wins. And that's fun. Like I'm biased this year, obviously, but I think that's more fun.
I think that's fun too. College football for me is leaving a bad taste in my mouth right now. It's getting a lot of my attention, but like, I don't like it.
Obviously, you feel good about this when it like the stuff that benefits you, right? Like if Mensa comes to Miami, obviously, I like that. I don't love the process of how it happens because I know that if he was my quarterback, and I mean, well,
yeah, but
he was like this actual player, like it sucks, and it's like, and you kind of feel like it's funny because like I feel it from the Tulane side where it's kind of expected you're going to lose half your roster, and then you feel like with Miami, it's like, oh, if you're good, no way this can happen to us, and like we've had it happen. We've had like freshmen, like 5-star freshmen defensive linemen that were just supposed to be like the next up. And they're like, yeah, we didn't get a chance.
I just hate it.
It's like,
You said it's affected high school recruits a lot too because
It is.
people are just waiting on the transfer portal players and not really worrying about. I mean, it's not real, but even in like our NCAA dynasties, you're like, yeah, I only have 14 recruits, but I'm just going to go to work in the transfer portal, because you just know that there's going to be 2,000 kids out there that are going to be interested in going to your school.
You know, it's funny. I'm just bringing this up because it's like me patting myself on the back. I remember when all this nonsense started like 2 years ago, Dave and I were talking about recruiting versus transfer portal. And I said you needed a good blend of both. And he was saying you'd never survive on just the transfer portal, basically. And now we're at a point where it's like, you're basically just.
But I don't think so. Well, see, I don't know enough about Indiana's roster other than most of it is JMU, right? Like, and I think they probably are a lot of transfer portal players because I know they're one of the older rosters. So I'm just assuming.
He brought over like 8 or 9 like starters, and it's down to like 3 or 4 now. But
Miami specifically, like Beck, like a lot of the guys some stars are transfer portal. The defensive backs mostly transfer portal, but like one of their starting cornerbacks is like a 3-star recruit that like wasn't recruited by anybody, and he's homegrown. Bain, homegrown. Malinois, homegrown. Like the star players are local kids, and like Mario Cristobal is a recruiter. Like he goes hard in mostly his thing is building the line. So like he's gonna find the homegrown guys on the line and then just plug like skill positions from the portal. I think you need both.
I think you need both too. But do you think that with the way things are trending that they'll be able to continue to do that, or do you think they'll just have to continue to build through the portal? Because I
think so. I think you will if you it's about the kids you're recruiting. Honestly, like if you can find the ones that are willing to like hang around. Like Ruben Bain came in and the program was a disaster, and he's hung around this whole time and it paid off. So like if you can find some kid, I think you have to be willing to show that you'll play. Like if you're going to land 4 and 5-star recruits, you have to be willing to show you'll play them right away. Otherwise, you're gonna like they might commit to you, but they won't stay.
I'm so interested in how this is going to play out and kind of disgusted by it. And like, there's just so many layers to it. Like, guys aren't staying at schools for more than a year. They're getting advice to hop in the portal, and they don't really have anywhere to go yet. But then you don't want tampering happening on the other end where it's like, hey, hop in the portal because we're going to pay you, because that's nasty too. That's not ethical. Yeah. You got cousins representing people as agents that aren't actually agents, and they're giving bad advice. Yep. And then like you got donors who are giving money for all this to happen. There's no way that's sustainable. Yeah. Like how does this continue?
And here's my thing, like every time one of these like Mensa situations happens, they're like, oh, so-and-so is going to sue and this will happen. I'm like, sue for what? It's not to play for Duke. Like that's not what his if they have his NIL rights, that's one thing. Miami can't get his NIL rights. Like he could technically just transfer to Miami and play for Miami.
He could.
Like it's not. I think that's what people are like. We all know that it's to play for Duke or to play for Miami, but like that's not what it legally is. It can't be. Yeah. And then like there's they're saying that like it's he can't get rev share. I'm like, well, that doesn't even exist yet. Like it hasn't started. So like that's one thing. But it was fun for a minute. Like when this all first started, it was like, hey, this is kind of fun. And then now it's just off the rails. I know you saw it the other day. They had a kid like posting workouts in his driveway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like to be fair, I don't know anything about that kid. I don't know where he came from, what his situation was. Like, if you got to post workout highlights from your driveway, you probably should have just stayed where you were and not hit the portal.
To be fair, and I don't know this kid either, he could have been told.
That's
hey,
true. Yeah, that happens.
Transfer. We're not playing you. We're not giving you a scholarship. We're going to pull it anyway.
Yeah.
You need to transfer. Because I think reading his tweet, it was something about he's healthy and ready to go. I think maybe he got hurt and just hadn't played.
Yeah. But I guess I used him as an example.
I get what you're saying, though. There's
so many of them that are tweeting out their own, even game, like they're tweeting out like all 22 tape from like practices.
Mm-hmm.
And you're totally fair. Like a lot of them could just like, I know for a fact Miami came in and was like telling kids like, hey, hit the portal. Like that's what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to play here. And like it happens, but there's some of them that are just leaving. Like Javen Gordon, like he had a little bit of success and maybe it was a coach thing, but like even that, I'm like, that's barely enough tape. Like where are you going to go? How are you going to improve your situation? You know what I mean? That's just like, I don't know. And then like I keep bringing up Miami, but it's just what I'm familiar with. Like you got a defensive lineman who commits and was like one injury away from getting real playing time in the middle of a playoff run from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And he enters the portal and his reasoning is, I just want to go somewhere where I can show my worth.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
hey, next year
he got snaps during the season, like, you know, in the blowout games,
mm-hmm.
like they tend to do to keep his red shirt or whatever. And it's like, you were going to be the guy. Like, I don't understand. What do you mean show what you're worth? Now you're going to go play for like some small bottom feeding SEC school,
basically.
And then you're going to have to try to work your way back up to a Miami or an Ohio State or something like that.
Get a payday.
It's just, it is kind of exhausting, man.
And now you have the kids that come out of high school that commit. And they commit early and they end up going to that school. They go classes, they go through spring practice, and now they can decide to transfer before they even play football.
That blew my mind yesterday.
What?
I saw that. They said he entered the portal as a short-term transfer. I said, what the hell is a short-term transfer? And it's not like a real term. It's just On 3 making up a term for it. But I'm like,
it's basically they decided they don't want to go to that school
so
anymore.
Now you're telling me I can be excited that we got a high school recruit and he could just be like, nah. Not anymore. Like I thought didn't have to worry about that because it did happen before when you had the spring window. Like they'd get in there, they'd practice, and then in the spring they'd be like, "This ain't for me," and they'd hit the portal. Now I was like, "Oh, these dudes are committed. There ain't no spring window. They're not going anywhere. They're here for a year at least." And now it's like, nah.
Yeah.
Then you got like the Xavier Lucas situation where he's just like, "I'm just gonna drop out and just go enroll here."
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you say.
It's like that Domino's commercial. I think it was Domino's. Maybe it's Little Caesars, where there's a guy and he's getting pizza and he's like, "There's no rules," and he takes his shirt off.
We have to. I mean, we got to be hitting some kind of like inflection point, right? Like it's got to something has to. I don't know how you reel it in, and I don't know what changes, but something has to change.
Josh Pate said, in his opinion, and I lean into him a lot because he seems to really understand this stuff. In his opinion, he thinks that the conference like leaders are going to be the ones that have to figure out how to stop this. It's going to be conference by conference. I think you've already kind of seen it with the Big Ten. And I know that like we joke about like you can't stop kids from transferring. You can't. But I don't know what was in that contract with Demon Williams, but it stopped his ass from transferring.
I'm not going to really say who, but we had a text earlier. Like, did somebody read this contract?
Yeah.
And like, we're joking, but like, I'm legitimately like,
well, some of these agents aren't agents.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
are they really reading through it and
Probably
understanding
not.
it? Or are they just seeing money and saying, yeah, sign it?
like, cause these contracts are legit written by lawyers and whoever. And they're just like, yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'll sign this.
Yeah.
$7 million in a Lambo, sign me up.
Yeah. Like you tell me, like Malachi Toney obviously probably has an NIL deal and he started the season as a 17-year-old. Like you're telling me like if he doesn't have a legit agent that understands this, who knows what's going to happen?
It's his uncle or somebody. You know?
Right.
It's his
mama.
That's really
His
what
mama's
his
Maria.
parents or.
Yeah, especially like you think about where like a lot of these kids are coming from. Like they don't have the connections to a legitimate agent. That's why it is their uncle or their mom represents them or their dad represents them.
And how do you know, to be fair, how do you know those like family members have their best interest at heart?
Right.
Maybe they're just trying to scrape an extra $1,000 off the top and they're like, hey, you need to go to this school, not this school. They're going to pay you more.
Yeah. I mean, like you kind of feel bad for a lot of the kids because it's like, this kid just, this kid is definitely just being like, I know I don't know anything about this. This person is older than me. They have to know more. And they're like, yeah, I'll put my trust in this person. And then they're taking.
I don't think it was NIL related, but they had the Ohio State recruit that they had him commit to Tennessee because he wasn't old enough to sign the contract or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I never even heard about that.
He couldn't sign. He wanted to go to Ohio State, but his mom basically forced him to go to Tennessee because he couldn't sign something. And so then eventually he got some kind of waiver where he was able to sign it. Then he went back to Ohio State.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I think it was because I don't remember his name, but it was like
he was a big recruit.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it all over Twitter, and he looked so sad.
Yeah,
signing at Tennessee or wherever, if that was the school you're talking about, he looked so sad, like holding their gear, and like he's like, "Yeah, I'm just here." Like,
but it's like these kids are teenagers still, and so they're just advising and doing what they're doing, and then you're talking about millions and millions of dollars for some of these kids, and not really knowing the fine details of it until it's too late, And I don't know if that's what happened with Damon Williams, whatever. He's like, oh shit, that's in my contract. Yeah, maybe maybe I don't transfer.
I also think that situation was about to get real ugly just with like the way he did it. Like they were saying how when he went into the portal, they were at like a celebration of life.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Which that made me feel like, oh, there's no chance he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know how he goes back to that school now.
Yeah,
they were threatening to sue him. They were threatening supposedly the contract, from what I read, he was going to have to pay, or LSU or whoever was going to have to pay like $4 million.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't going to have rights or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's ugly. It's professional sports now. I hate
it.
Yeah.
I hate it. These kids aren't even going to class. You think they're going to class?
Some of them are.
They go to school for 6 months.
I know some of them are, but I'm sure they're just enough to make, they probably have to make an appearance, right?
Probably do an online class. Somebody else is taking it.
Like I know
use the NIL money.
I know there were kids tweeting from Miami that they were like, why is he in class right now? Like he was in their class. He's like, why is he here? Like get out, go practice. But like they're not actually going to school for the school. And who's gonna tell Ruben Bain he didn't pass a class and can't play? You know what I mean? Like what are we doing? But I want to circle back to one more thing, and then we can close this out real quick. We were talking about your first memories as a football fan and what made you love football. And I think I've made a breakthrough with Kaysen, my oldest son. He got upset the other day because it was like, I don't know if I was texting you about it or texting y'all about it. It was like 9:30 on a school night, and I'm watching the end of the Miami game, and he's like throwing a fit because he can't stay up and watch the end. And it was like one of those moments where I had to be like, yeah, I'll let him stay up and watch. But I made him go to bed and I felt bad. I was like, man, this was the chance to I've been praying for the moment that he cared. Yeah. And he's been slowly starting to show signs. Like he watches me play the video game, and he'll watch me play. I forget what I was playing, some game. Or they were showing a Falcons highlight, and he just straight up says, like, we don't like them. Like, we're here. We've made it. We're making progress. But I felt like I might have undid it all because I made him go to bed. And I just wanted to share that. Like, I'm finally starting to have the moments where I'm like, this is so exciting that he cares.
Yeah.
Like, I left him a little note. He was like, I want to know if they win. I was like, all right. So I had to go to work the next morning. I left a little note for him on the table, like saying we won. And like, this was so cool. I was so excited to share this with him.
I hadn't had that moment with my kid. I've had that moment with my wife a few years ago when we were just like a play had happened, and all of a sudden she was like, what was he doing right there? And like named the player, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh, a little tear. And like when Tomlin let go, she had called me. She usually calls me every day when she is heading home from work. And like the second sentence out of her mouth, she's like, you see what happened to Tomlin? I was like, yeah. I'm like, well, why are you? And I was like, yeah. And then we just started like talking about it. And I was like, it's cool. It's just like when
Yeah.
your significant other, your kids or whoever, they just start to have the same interests as you. It's kind of cool.
And that's the other thing. He didn't even like, he's not even to the point where like he only cares if they win or lose. Like he's like asking legitimate questions about the game. Like I'll be playing college football and he'll be like, are you on offense or defense? And he'll be like, oh, you have the ball. You're on offense. And then I was on defense and I picked it off and he goes, interception. I was like, holy shit, we made it. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I told my grandma. So like my grandma made me, I used to go to catechism when I was in, I think it was whatever year was it 06 was the first game back?
Mm-hmm.
So at that time I was still in catechism and I'll give her shit about it to this day. She made me go to class the day of the first game back because I wasn't going to miss the whole game. I was only going to miss the first quarter. And in the first quarter,
yeah,
they blocked the punt. So I've only ever seen the punt block in replays.
Yeah.
And to this day, I give her shit about it, how she made me miss that.
You know what? I love that story. You know what I hate? That to this day, I'm still hearing random stories from the Sean Payton era, from like podcasts and stuff. I just want to either know it all or know nothing else.
Yeah.
Just stop. I'm so tired of hearing random new stuff. Like I think Peyton was on a podcast the other day and they asked him something about the return game, or they asked him something about Steve Gleason. And he tells this whole long story about the actual call and how they came up with the call and how he's just like, yeah, fuck, just go for the rush on the first one. And then they block it. And he's like, It's the loudest 10 seconds I've ever heard in any stadium ever.
Yep.
And I was like, damn.
And
then he tells the story about Drew Brees getting stuck in the garage. Never heard that story.
I heard that one. I think I heard Drew tell that one before. But yeah, to this day, like I only missed like half of the first quarter, but I missed the most important part of the entire game. I remember everything else about it, but that one I did not see live. And she tries to, every time I tell her, she tries to be like, no, it wasn't that game. It was a different game. She don't want to believe it, but shout out to Granny.
I remember it vividly.
Because that's what we've always bonded over is the same. So like I think it legitimately hurts her that she made me, like she let me miss school for playoff games and stuff. Like when we went on the Super Bowl run, she like I didn't go to school after any playoff game. I missed every Monday after the playoffs. I definitely didn't go to school after the Super Bowl. So like that's how much she cared about me being able to see the games. But she feels so bad that she made me go and miss that. But in her defense, who could have seen it coming?
Yeah.
Anyway.
God.
The Lord.
The Lord.
The Lord.
Oh, well, Aaron. Oh, we didn't add Aaron's song to close us out. You got to edit the AI song.
Right. I wrote us an outro song.
Let's see if it improves this week.
A haiku. So you would think, oh Jesus. Is everybody familiar with the Johnny Cash song Folsom Prison Blues?
What?
Don't know that song, the Johnny Cash song?
You actually did write something.
I
thought he was joking.
I hear the train coming.
I know the song. Yeah.
Do you know that song?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. You actually prepared. I like this.
It's only 20 seconds. All right?
That's all we need.
That's
20
that's a long
seconds
time.
is a long time, okay?
Sometimes some people would say it's too much. All right, ready? Here we go. I'm not actually. I want to pretend like I'm putting.
Did you tune it?
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, jeez. Excuse you. Nailed it. It's good. It's good to go. All right. Let's pretend to do it here. All right. Ready? All right. All right. It's just so loud. I feel like it's so loud.
It's coming from the microphone.
I know. All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. I hear the bros are potting. It's coming through your phone, or maybe in your speakers in your car on your way home. And I've been stuck listening to Brew Bros. Good times keep rolling on. The bros will keep on potting till the break of dawn.
I like it.
Love it.
Thank you. We love you. Till next time. Bye. Kisses.